Welcome to the Football Factory, let's get to work. Manchester United lined up with their typical 4-2-3-1 formation with a change in the centre-back pairing as Eric Bailly was now starting. Also, Alex Telles came in for Luke Shaw. Also, Dan James starts on the right wing and Mason Greenwood starts up front as striker. Real Sociedad started the game in a 4-3-3 formation with Ilya Mendy, David Silva and Mikel Merino in midfield. Oyarzabal played left wing, Adnan Januzaj at right wing and Alexander Isak led their front line. Here you see Rashford, Fernandes and James close down the ball as it is played along Real Sociedad's back line. From kickoff, the match started at a high intensity with Manchester United initiating the high press consistently throughout the first half, sometimes with 4 or 5 players. One player would spearhead the press, usually that was Fernandes or Greenwood, closely followed by the wingers and an attacking midfielder. By the midfielders meeting Real Sociedad in their own box, this brought the game to the middle third of the pitch, with 42% of the game taking place in that area. Pressing them high in their own box would disrupt their rhythm and not allow them to get a good flow and control of the game. Manchester United adopted a 2-4-3-1 formation with Alex Telles and Aaron Wan-Bissaka pushing high up alongside the midfield defensive line, leaving Harry Maguire and Eric Bailly as the only 2 outfield players in their half. Real Sociedad's team looked like a 2-4-2-2 formation. Their fullbacks also kept a high line alongside the midfielders, with Asier Ilya Mendy being the deepest lying centre midfielder. Oyarzabal played in a position slightly more central to his usual left wing position, and David Silva played large parts of the game in the centre of the park. Adnan Januzaj found himself side by side to Alexander Isak more often than him being on the right wing. The pace of Eric Bailly allowed Manchester United to keep a high defensive line without the threat of being beaten by a long ball, similar to the high line kept by Bayern Munich against Barcelona when Luis Suarez did not have the pace required to get past David Alaba. The football pitch did look clustered at times. This suited Real Sociedad's short passing game, however this played into Manchester United's hands as they were looking to be the counter-attack kings. Another adjustment made by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was to keep a defensive high line when defending from set pieces, perhaps learning from the recent headers they have conceded against Everton and West Brom. Dan James was brought in for his defensive work rate and also his explosive pace on the counter-attack. He tucked in alongside the right back to help defend. Mason Greenwood also assisted Wan-Bissaka in defending runners from the right side. Here he's tracking Nacho Monreal's run. As the ball is played into the box, Mason Green was in a good position to intercept and he clears the ball safely. This was the reasoning behind Dan James and Mason Greenwood starting instead of Anthony Martial, as they are much more willing to put in a defensive shift. Early in the game, Real Sociedad adopted a 4-5-1 formation to preserve their defensive shape and also control possession of the ball. The high line maintained by Real Sociedad proved to be naive, as they could not cope with the long balls by Manchester United into Marcus Rashford down on the left-hand side. This formation was picked apart by Manchester United, as they found spaces in the pockets between the 4 defenders and the 5 midfielders, and also long balls to the left channels mainly was the undoing of Real Sociedad. Manchester United attempted 40 long balls compared to Real Sociedad's 27 long balls in the game. On multiple occasions, Marcus Rashford's pace exploited Zardua's defensive positioning by a simple outlet ball from Bruno Fernandes. 48% of Manchester United's attack came from the left side. Here, Marcus Rashford places a perfectly timed through ball into Dan James, who lays it off for Bruno Fernandes to score the second goal. Manchester United won this game by perfectly timed through balls and long balls. Real Sociedad were overconfident in meeting Manchester United high in the field and they were picked apart. It was unexpected for both Fred and Bailly to register assists from their own half. However, Rashford and James were just too quick for Real Sociedad's defenders and they played right into Manchester United's hands. Thank you for watching guys, and stay tuned for the next video.